Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Rituparna and in today's video I will talk about some of my favorite Indian authors. So as you guys know that one of my reading goals this year was to explore more and more of Indian authors and writers. So I have been trying to do that, and if you have any recommendations for me, drop them down in the comment please. Now of course there are a lot of Indian writers out there. This list is just some of my favorites that I want to talk about, because usually what happens is I talk about like what I have been reading. It's never really author or writer specific. So just wanted to take this opportunity and talk about some of my Indian writers. So of course the first one on the list has to be Satyajit Ray. Satyajit Ray to me is like the epitome of creativity. His writing was like way ahead of what any of us could have imagined, and so was his filmmaking and his vision, so I think it's only fair that he is one of the people on the list. I absolutely love his writing. The only thing with me is that I couldn't read his original work, which was written in Bengali, as I am not very fluent with reading Bengali. But yes, that is also a reading goal, to be able to read his original works and not just the translated ones. His writing is very thrilling, very captivating. It will like hold your attention. You will be there with the characters. The characters are so relatable. They are very human in nature, They all have their tics and stuff, but they are very relatable. We are able to relate with these characters. We are able to understand the actions they are taking, and it's an absolute pleasure just picking up his books and reading them, whether it is Feluda or any of his short stories. The next author on my list is Ruskin Bond. Another person whose writing I have read since I was a teenager and I still enjoy it. Such simplistic writing, but I think his power comes from the way he describes things. The way he will describe a forest, the way he will describe human emotions. A very simple story like The Blue Umbrella, if you read it, you will feel as if there was so much emotion and so much thinking and such beautiful description of the umbrella changing its color from the dark blue to fading and all of that. I think it's very beautiful imagination he will put you into, and he will capture your heart with. Another author that I'm a big fan of is Sudha Murthy. Now Sudha Murthy is again very varied. She has written books for children. She has like books, short stories which are derived from her experience working with NGOs, working with charity, and then there are her other novels and books as well. What I enjoy is her take on relationships, marriage, all of that. She'll write very openly about these things, about insecurities, about jealousy in a relationship. And I think she really hits the nail on the head when it comes to such kinds of stories. I think she really understands the mindset of a couple or people in relationships. And it's again very simple words, so to say. You will not find any big fancy words or complicated language, but then again the way she will tell the story, the way she'll take the story and it will take you through ups and downs of emotions. It's absolutely beautiful to read. If you are a beginner at reading, then I would highly suggest picking up any book by Ruskin Bond or by Sudha Murthy. The next writer on my list is someone I have very recently chanced upon. I don't know why. That is Chitrabanerjee. Now Chitrabanerjee has written many books. She has been in this literary circle, so as to say, for many years. But I have read 3 of her most well-known books: The Last Queen, The Palace of Illusions, and The Forest of Enchantments. What I like about her writing is very cinematic. So you will feel as though you're like watching a movie. And because she writes everything from a female perspective, I think it's a very interesting take. So she will talk about power and desire and jealousy and intimacy, and to pick up such subjects like the Ramayana or the Mahabharata, and then being very objective about them, being very neutral about them, and then giving your take upon things. I think that is very difficult to do, and she does it absolutely must check out her work. The next author on my list is R.K. Narayan. Now R.K. Narayan is very well known. You all have either read or watched the Malgudi days. Again, I think very simple style of writing, but the way he can talk about people, their lives, the emotions, I think that is something that's really fascinating to me. I have read 2 of his books, Waiting for the Mahatma and The English Teacher. Both are very short books. It's not like a big novel, but very well written. Talking about mostly very human-centered, very personal, person-centered, people-centered, talking about their fears or talking about their emotions and capturing it all well, so very well. The next author on my list is someone that was actually recommended to me by my husband, that is Khushwant Singh. Khushwant Singh's, I have read 2 books, I think in the lockdown when there was no availability, opportunity both to order new books and all of that. So I picked up both of his books and it's so funny. He writes unfiltered and again very prolific writer, very fluent writer. So I think his writing is very matured, very beautifully written about his experiences as a columnist, as a novelist, working in newspaper. He was very open about the fact that certain opportunities came to him because of the kind of position he was in. Sometimes he was just at the right place at the right time kind of things, about politics and politicians. It's very interesting. And yeah, I'm actually looking forward to reading his book that is called A Train to Pakistan, which is again suggested to me by my husband. It's on my to be read list for this year. The next is an author who is again I have actually gotten from my husband, that is Jhumpa Lahiri. So I got her books from my husband's collection when I was just going through his stock, and what to say, I'm a fan of her work. Very magnificent writing, I think that is what I would say for her writing. The way she writes is completely different from what I had read before, and very flowing kind of a writing. Again, very I think a lot of people-centric, about writing about people, writing about their lives, their feelings and emotions, but in such a beautiful, different manner. Next, I want to talk about Amish. Now, Amish, of course, writes mythology, and of course, you have heard of the Meluha series, the trilogy, and then the Ramchandra series, of which the 4th book is coming this year, so very excited for that as well. It is very beautiful the way mythology is written in his books, the way he depicts the characters, the storytelling, the narrative. It's absolutely, kudos to him for the kind of research he has to go through to put out those books. I can only imagine. And very thrilling, very entertaining. If someone is not into mythology, they can also pick up, and I think they'll like the kind of narration and storytelling he has going on. So yeah, that was my list of Indian authors that I like. Who is your favorite Indian author? Drop down in the comment section below, let me know, and I'll see you again. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Bye. Thank you.